With the 20th anniversary of the Naruto Anime, Studios Pierrot released a video celebrating the date. They animated some key scenes from the Naruto series with a very contemporary style of animation, which impressed a lot of people and made many people ask, can you remake Naruto with that animation? Even Mr. Beast was asking about that. And allow me to answer that question for you guys. Before that though, subscribe to this channel, like this video, and ring the notification bell for more content like this. Answering how much an entire anime with this new style of animation would cost will involve a little bit of math, but nothing too serious, so stick with me. The first thing we have to determine is how many episodes this new Naruto anime would have. The Naruto manga has 700 chapters in total, and if we assume that this new anime wouldn't have any fillers, which is a pretty good assumption, nobody wants those fillers anymore, and I'm talking about fillers that have nothing to do with the main story, like when they fight some ostriches, and also fillers that they kind of sneak in and you think it's a canon episode, but it's actually not. There's a lot of that. Or even filler scenes in the middle of a canon episode that you don't even realize it's filler, because they just want to fluff it up. For example, 99% of Konohamaru's scenes are all filler in the anime, so we're going to assume that none of that's going to be a factor here. They're going to adapt the manga without having to use filler because the entire manga is out, so there's no need to delay the anime. If they decide to adapt the manga in a pretty damn quick pace, they would use 3 chapters per anime episode. This is very doable, especially for a shonen anime that involves a lot of fighting. So if they do that, we just have to divide 700 chapters by 3, which is the number of chapters in a single episode, which gives us roughly 233. However, adapting 3 manga chapters in a single anime episode can be kinda rushed. It's not as though the entire content wouldn't be there, because it would, but it would feel very fast, and sometimes this is not what we want. Sometimes we have to breathe, sometimes some scenes have to linger for a longer period of time for it to have a better impact. So let's say they adapt 2.5 chapters per episode in average. If we divide the 700 chapters by 2.5 per episode, we would have 280 anime episodes for the entire series. This is an interesting pacing for the animators. It's still pretty fast, but it's manageable. However, there is something else that an anime adaptation should strive to do, which is to improve upon the source material. The OG Naruto anime has done that in some occasions, not very often. Prominent examples we can give about the anime being superior to the manga was, for instance, when Madara was introduced and he fought the entire Shinobi Alliance in hand-to-hand. That was not in the manga and it was great. And also the Obito versus Kakashi fight, which was much better in the anime. All that fist fight was essentially anime-only content, and sure, you could consider that filler, but it's actually making things better. It's not the type of filler that it is done so that the anime won't catch up to the manga. If we're getting a new anime adaptation with very fluid animation and cool fights, I expect that plenty of fights will be stretched a little bit for them to be cooler, just like the Obito versus Kakashi fight. A very good one that I would like to see being stretched out would be Kakashi versus Sasuke, which was glossed over completely, both in the anime and in the manga. There are other examples that you can give as well. So instead of 280, let's round that up to 300 so they can have time and episodes to animate more fights and make things more interesting, and then they don't have to worry about having fewer episodes. And just put that to perspective, 300 episodes would have been enough to adapt the entire Naruto series, Naruto Part 1 and Naruto Shippuden as well. And the original anime has over 700 chapters, so it has more than twice what they needed. More than half of Naruto is filler. Let that sink in. But anyway, now we just have to find out how much money they would have to spend to animate each episode. And this is not really something fixed. The average anime episode costs from about 100,000 to 300,000 US dollars, which is a lot of money, but there's a pretty big gap. If we assume that this Naruto anime would have pristine, fluid animation, we can roll with the 300,000 mark. Of course, some episodes would have a much bigger budget than others, but if the average episode costs $300,000, this would be a very well made anime. And I'm talking about something like Vinland Saga, Mob Psycho, that type of animation. And if we go with that value, we just have to multiply the 300 chapters by the $300,000, which gives us $90 million for the new anime adaptation of Naruto. This sounds like a lot of money, but put that into perspective. Your average Hollywood blockbuster costs around $200 million, which is over twice as much. And it's a 2-hour movie. They're not very long. We're talking about 300 anime chapters here that are about 22, 23 minutes long. It's a lot of time. So that will be the cost for a new Naruto anime. Now let's discuss if this is even possible, because I think that's an even more interesting conversation. We've been talking about numbers so far, but now let's talk about the real world. We can forget about Mr. Beast paying for the new Naruto anime to be made. Even if he paid all that for them to make the anime, this is not really his decision. Pierrot Studio has the rights for the anime and they will do it if they want to. Now, if an investor came with $90 million and said, hey guys, I want you to make Naruto again, maybe this studio would say, oh, okay, that's a pretty good offer. But still, it's a very far-fetched theory. In reality, it's very unlikely that we're gonna be having a remake of Naruto anytime soon. It hasn't been that long since Naruto ended, the anime at least, about 6 years ago. And the later animation of Naruto was pretty contemporary as well. And the second big reason as to why this wouldn't happen at all right now is Boruto. They would never release Naruto again when Boruto is airing, because it would essentially be competition against themselves. Boruto would be eclipsed by a Naruto remake with very good animation. If Boruto burned to the ground and was destroyed, I wouldn't mind that one bit. But they wouldn't do that because they want Boruto to succeed. Unfortunately,
I hate so much about the things that you choose to be.
Having said that, Naruto is the most successful anime of all time when you consider the entire world. It may not have been the most successful anime in Japan, but worldwide it's undisputedly the most successful anime. There is a lot of precedent for remakes of very popular anime to varying degrees of success. So in the future, I can see this as a real possibility. Maybe 10, 20 years from now, they're gonna do a Naruto remake. Whenever the new generation comes along, you know, whatever generation comes after the TikTok generation, I don't know what they're gonna be like this. Then they would probably want to introduce Naruto back into this new generation. Unfortunately, the TikTok generation is being introduced to Boruto before Naruto, which is just a travesty. And they're introduced to Boruto via TikTok, which is even worse. But in 10, 20 years from now, if they decide to remake Naruto with very good animation, that would be a guaranteed success. There's a lot of prejudice towards the Naruto anime because of the filler and because of the bad animation in some spots, so if you get rid of those two things, the Naruto anime would have been a masterpiece, because the manga is a masterpiece, except for Kage and Zetsu in the end. If the anime was released in a seasonal format and not like airing every week like it used to, it would be very successful. This is a new business model. This is what new shonens are doing. Chainsaw Man, Boku no Hero, Attack on Titan, you name it. You have more time to make the animation better. You don't have to rush things. You don't have to do filler episodes. This hypothetical Naruto remake would probably release 24 episode seasons, meaning that if the anime had 300 episodes in total, the Naruto anime would have about 13 or 12 seasons. Just don't expect that to happen anytime soon, and depending on what they do after Boruto, if they do a sequel, this would probably take a while. But then again, Naruto is just too popular. I have no doubt in my mind that a remake of Naruto would make money, and introducing newer generations to the OG Naruto through a very good anime would be a great strategy. Tell me in the comments down below if you would like to see a Naruto remake, subscribe to this channel, like this video, and thanks for watching.